Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I hope that you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I am so excited about the subject matter of this video. Cream blush, you guys know, is my jam. I have been so into it this year and I have been trying out a lot of different formulas. So today I thought I would do a quick roundup of the colors and formulas that I have been trying. I don't have all of the cream blushes I have purchased this year in this video. Some of them are relatively new to me, and so I'll save those for part 2, shall we say, of this video. Before we get started, let's talk about the tea of the day. This one's from the Heirloom Tea Company. It's called the Formosa Fame Oolong, and this is one of those oolongs called Alishan, Taiwanese oolong. I'm going to show you the word Alishan. See there? I don't know if it's pronounced Alishan. That's how I pronounce it in my mind. It could be Alishan or some other variation of a way to say that word. I tried looking it up online, I couldn't find it. But anyway, it's a Taiwanese oolong, and this is really, really good. It's the kind that you are supposed to steep many different times over. Every time you steep it, it releases just a little bit more flavor, and sometimes it can be different nuances of flavor. This is my third steep. I mean, I feel like I say this about a lot of different things. You guys are gonna start calling me out pretty soon, but I was about to say it's one of my favorites because it is. It's one of my favorites. I really, really love the floralness of the Taiwanese oolongs and how they can be re-steeped over and over. It's very, very good. Again, if you're not a fan of floral flavors, I would stay away from this type of oolong. Okay, let us get into the blush. First up, this is the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur Blush. I have a couple different shades. This one, Blurred Buff, I tried this year. And it's exactly what it sounds like in terms of bounciness. It has a soft, squishy texture. The other shade I have of this, Mauve Sunrise, is much more soft and bouncy, so I don't know what the difference is in terms of that. But this shade, Blurred Buff, has a little bit of shimmer running through it, you can see. And I found that this type of putty type texture has got to be one of my favorite. You'll notice it's called the Bounce and Blur blush. It does. It blurs the skin like crazy. And this color is just so neutral and so nice. You could wear it with anything. And the shimmer is not too much. It just makes your skin look healthy and at the same time blurred. Like I said, it's kind of nuts and I love it. I've applied this using my fingers and a stipple brush. I would probably go for a stipple brush most of the time. Colourpop blush sticks. These are not new. I just happened to try them this year. I have the shade Roosevelt, which is like a terracotta-ish brown color. My favorite way to apply it is I take a stipple brush, I just load it up like this and dab it on the back of my hand. I don't think I got very much. Let's do that again. But it's so blendy. And again, it has kind of that soft focus effect on your cheeks where it just makes your cheeks blurred out a little bit. Like I'm a huge fan of this formula. I would really, really like to try other colors of this. I have held back though, just because I have been trying a lot of different formulas and I haven't really been letting myself buy more colors in formulas at the moment, but you can see how nice that is. I feel like this one is kind of a more easy blush to use for someone that was just getting into cream blush. And this color is so pretty for the summertime. Some of these I have tried on my face in videos for you. In fact, I think this is one I highlighted in my summer blush video in which I did try them all on my face. I'll make sure I link that down below if you want to see it applied to my face. This one, it's unfortunately, it's kind of an product for me. So this is the Colourpop Cheek Dew blush and I was so excited about this. I'm trying to remember when these came out, back in the spring sometime, and I'm shaking it because it separates in the tube. It looks kind of oily and separated, kind of disgusting. But the reason why it's kind of an product for me is because while it can look pretty, it's kind of iffy to work with. If you apply it with a sponge, it shears out so that you hardly see anything. But if you apply it with your fingers, sometimes it can look patchy and it can be kind of difficult to get a nice feathered edge on it. I feel like it's one of those where you get it to where you want and then stop touching it because the more you touch it, the more you can make it look patchy. But you see how I kind of put my finger in it and then it made like a patch in it. So if you sit there tapping it out, you could make it look kind of patchy. So yes, I feel like I said, get it to the point you want and then stop touching it. And you can see it does look really dewy on the skin. I had someone else say that they felt like it was really, really sticky. I don't think it's really, really sticky. It just doesn't really set down, I feel. It stays kind of serumy and wet. I have heard someone else say that they prefer to wear this on bare face without any foundation just to give themselves a nice little pop of color on their cheeks, and that was the best way to use it because it didn't disturb their foundation. I haven't particularly noticed it disturbing my product, my base product. Next up, let's talk about this little blush palette from e.l.f. So this is the Workout Ready Lip and Cheek palette. I bought this just because of Hannah Louise Poston. She raves about this. She compares it to like a Tom Ford type product. I mean, I can't comment on that because I've never tried anything from Tom Ford, but I do really like this little palette. So it comes with a highlight and 3 blush shades. I'm actually wearing the highlight on my cheeks today. I think it's very pretty. These, you guys, are really, really long wearing. I couldn't believe it. I was outside all day on one of these crazy 95-degree days, and I just happened to be wearing this peachy shade, and when I came back in, it was still on, and it still looked really nice. These are really nice long wearing cream blushes. And I feel like I reported to you like the first time I tried it that I felt like it was really, really thin. I don't know anymore if I would call it thin. Working with it, I feel like it's not as thin as I thought it was at first. They're kind of balmy feeling. They kind of remind me like the Honest Beauty type ones. They're gonna have a bit of a stick when you put your fingers in, but they blend out really, really beautifully. What's nice about a product like this is that you can mix the shades to make a shade that you like, which is often what I end up doing. So let's put them here. So what I end up doing is I kind of mix them together like that, and you get kind of that really, really beautiful, warm terracotta shade. Yeah, that's a heavy swatch, but that way you can see the color of all the colors mixed together. This is a really good one. I really enjoy it. Next up is a formula that I have not used a whole lot, and it makes me sad because I really, really like it. I think it's gonna go in my next Shop My Stash. So that's just from MAC, and I had to tape my lid on because it immediately fell off the second I took it out of its package, but this is the So Natural Glow Play Blush. This is another one of those soft, bouncy type blushes. So you can see, yeah, super squishy. And it does the thing for me that the Bare Minerals one does, where it gets like a soft focus blurred look. And this shade is so, I mean, it's called So Natural. I was about to say this shade is so natural. It's very natural. And you can see that even though it doesn't have shimmer in it, it does have a nice, soft little luminosity to it. It is just so, so agreeable to work with. You can build it up to get more color if you want. But if you're a new blush lover, this one is really, really beautiful. And I know they have lots of other colors in this formula. And this is another one of those formulas where I would happily have all the colors. I love it. I got cream blush all over my little e.l.f. palette here. Okay, this next one really, really surprised me. So this is from Milani. This is the Cheek Kiss cream blush in the shade Coral Crush. This is a thin formula. Like when you touch it, it feels, oh, like butter soft and super, super melty. And it's really, really pigmented. So that's the shade there on my finger. When I do this, this is enough for probably both of my cheeks. I'll put a dot there, and use a different finger to blend it out, just because this shade, it is a bright shade, but it blends out to look so pretty, so fresh and summery. So I'll put like a dot, and then just blend. Like it's really, really easy to use like this. This is another formula where I would happily have all the other shades. Like this is really, really nice. In fact, this might be one of my favorite discoveries of the entire year. Like it's just really, really good. It feels really high end. Just be aware that it is pigmented. Don't go in too ham on your first try. Now to the blush I'm wearing today, and I don't know if I need to say anything about this blush because they have been so popular for so long. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint. This is the shade Beam. It's just a beautiful soft peach. It is pigmented. You just need a little dot. It blends out beautifully and it doesn't stay sticky or anything. It's just a really, really beautiful formula. This little package will last a very long time. And I'm so happy that I finally tried it. These have been on my wish list for a really, really long time. Another formula where I would want all the things. Like that's just the thing with cream blush. I enjoy it so much that it's hard to hold myself back from purchasing all the shades in these formulas because I have been really, really, really loving them. Lastly, this is, I think, one of the newest blushes to me. This is from e.l.f. This is the Putty Blush. I have the shade Tahiti. At least I think I do. It's here on the side and it's really hard to see. Yes, Tahiti. This formula really, really surprised me. When I saw Putty Blush, I was expecting something like the MAC blush or the Bare Minerals blush or even like something from Colourpop, but it doesn't. When you first put your finger in it, it feels, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe how it feels. In my mind, it just feels more slippy than I would expect a putty blush to feel, but it's not too pigmented. Like, look at that. I was sitting here going forever in this blush and look what I got. And it blends out like a powder. Like, look at that. It is extremely, like I heard someone else say, it's just really agreeable to use. That's how I would describe this. Really, really agreeable. And it's really easy. You can use your fingers. My favorite way to use it is like with a stipple brush like this. This is the e.l.f. one, the e.l.f. I can't see an airbrush stipple. And I think they do have a brush specifically for the putty products. I don't have that one though. But since it's not super pigmented, you can just like load it up and then just dab and blend, and you don't have to be afraid of overdoing it. Like, look how pretty and airbrushed that looks. And this shade is, I feel like, a really easygoing shade. So yeah, I was really just surprised by the formula of this, that whole kind of cream to powder type formula. Just wasn't expecting it. Okay, so those are 8 blushes that I have been testing out this year. If you have tried any of them, definitely let me know down in the comments. What do you think of the formulas? Are they favorites for you? I would be interested in hearing if you've tried the Cheek Dew, what you think of this one. And I'm just so happy right now that cream blush is so in. All these brands are coming out with cream blushes and my heart just is so happy. I'm so here for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.